Okay guys, so I am back and a lot of you have asked when do I think the release date for the upcoming Spider-Man game on the PlayStation 4 is going to be. And obviously I do not know when the date is going to be, I want to stress that, but I can provide my speculation and evidence to when I think the game will release and why I feel that way. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share, and thank you for stopping by. So let's get into the topic at hand. So obviously we know very little when it comes to the release of the game or any time frame or anything. What we do know for a fact is that Insomniac Games has been developing this game in secret because this was the first time it was announced. But by the look of how far the game is along, we can speculate that this game is probably 50 or 60% complete, as it does seems to have a good graphics engine. It doesn't look like anything is wonky or anything like that. So it's probably been in development for at least over a year. Now, I want to stress over a year, and here's where I'm going to get into speculating. Now, the Marvel Cinematic Universe Spider-Man deal between Sony and Disney was struck in, early of 2015, and then we heard that he was going to be in a movie, and then everything kind of went one after the other, and he was added to the MCU. Of course, he made his debut in Civil War, so this was a big thing. Now, why exactly am I talking about the movie when it comes to talking about the date? Well, I think this factors into it. Spider-Man is first and foremost a Sony property. He is a Sony property movie, and Spider-Man is owned by Sony in all. This is their property. Now, the video game aspect is of course not owned by Sony. That's where it gets interesting. That's what I want to talk about here. Now, why is this important? Well, first and foremost, the game is exclusive to the PlayStation 4. Now, I'm going to speculate that while trying to agree upon a deal for the MCU version of Spider-Man to appear and for them to stop the production of the Amazing Spider-Man franchise, that the game rights were given to Sony, and that's why this is a console exclusive. Because if it wasn't, why wouldn't they put the game on everything and make way more money? Specifically for a character like Spider-Man, who is going to sell through the roof. I mean, he is the most popular and most, sellable superhero every year and has been for the last 2 decades. It just doesn't make any sense. So one, I'm speculating that yes, they did reach some sort of deal between the studios. 2, when you look at how they're framing this game, when you look at how far in development it is, it makes you think of when will they announce the release title and, when is the release going to be. Now, I myself am speculating that the release will be announced at the upcoming Sony experience, the PlayStation experience they do every November or December, because that's the perfect time to do it. That's the perfect time to make a huge reveal of the game. And that would be about 6 to 7 months before I think the game is coming out. And to go along with that, my prediction is that Spider-Man on PlayStation 4 is going to release towards the end of June and maybe the first week of July of 2017. And my speculation is that this is going to go hand in hand with Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, obviously, this game is not related to Spider-Man Homecoming in any way, shape, or form. But remember, Sony owns Spider-Man. Marvel is making the movie while Sony is flipping the entire bill. When you really think about it that way, you got to start thinking about this. If this is a Sony exclusive and they want to make the most amount of money back, you want your game to be positioned along the biggest marketing hype. The biggest marketing hype of next year in regards to Sony and Marvel is obviously going to be Spider-Man, as he's back home with the Marvel Studios brand. He's back home at Marvel and they're helping produce the movie, and now there's a brand new video game coming out. It is literally the perfect marketing for the movie, and in terms it's perfect marketing for the video game backwards, because one is going to be feeding off one another. And as it is a Sony movie and a Sony exclusive video game, you could just tell right now that they will do something like that's cross-promotional, where if you buy the brand new game or you pre-order it, you will be able to get the upcoming suit that is featured in Spider-Man Homecoming. It's literally a perfect tactic, and it makes sense to release the game in June. Now, once again, if you release it in June, it could be a little bit earlier before that, maybe even even the end of May, because you might want to jump before E3 is out. Why? Because if this game is going to be as good as people are expecting it, and it is Insomniac, and they don't make bad games, imagine the critical reception that could be held with this game. You could come back, put it everywhere, say the critics love it. Can you guys believe the definitive Spider-Man game is here only on the PlayStation 4? It really makes all the sense in the world from a marketing standpoint. So there it is, guys. It's either going to be late May, as in the last week, first week of May, or right before the movie. So there's about that 5-week window that I'm predicting that the movie and the game are both going to come out at the same time. So you guys let me know your thoughts on it down below, and I'll see you guys next time.